All right, perfect. So, hello again. I'm Katerina. Welcome to our latest special event. And today we have a special guest that I was lucky to meet in person when she was in Washington, D.C. And when we met, I said, oh, I definitely want to introduce her to our volunteers and share her story. So Oksana is an entrepreneur from Vinnytsia, Ukraine, and also a mom of 3 kids. So that already is impressive that she is balancing both of those. But to to add on, she has had to navigate running her business throughout the war and continues to do that successfully, which I think is very impressive. And she was here on an exchange program, learning from U.S. businesses and doing a short internship, and coming up with ideas to keep growing and expanding her work, which is really inspiring to me. And I will let Oksana talk more about what she does, but she is in the education space, like ourselves at ENGin, so we found a lot in common. And it's really interesting to hear, the similarities and differences. Both was working with Ukrainian youth in sort of different ways. So Oksana, I would love to have you do your little talk, tell us your story, and then I will definitely have some questions, and maybe others will as well.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I apologize for my not such an maybe excellent English, but I'm growing in this sphere. I am found a business school for teenagers, which set up in Ukraine, in Vinnytsia. And we set up 6 years ago, and we working in leadership sphere. We develop leadership skills, soft skills. We create project with our teenagers, students, and realize in real life. Also, we organize different meetings with entrepreneur, government, and different professional in different sphere to deeply understand which profession will be better for future profession and so on. First of all, I guess that I set up this business because I'm mother of teenagers. My daughter was 13, and when I want to find something in Vinnytsia to grow up their skills and her leadership potential, I can find. And at the time, I had experience in sphere in bank and in commercial sphere, which I work commercial director in one company. We produce electronic items, and I understand that I have a cool experience and great knowledge, and I have understanding what I want to give for our future generation. That's why I found this company, and now we organize also leadership camps all around the world, and also organize camp to USA in summer 2024, and in Great Britain, Europe, and Carpathian region. My main goal is to grow up not only leadership potential but entrepreneurial mindset in Ukraine, because when I compare in USA and in Ukraine potential, I understand that we grow up children like in some system. You need to have an education in school, then pass exam, and then choose the university, and then maybe something happen in your life. But it's not like real life. You need to have some knowledge, understanding more clearly real worlds, and try to use your potential, not only some narrow-minded like in school we develop. Because in Ukrainian school, it's not like in America, because when I talk in Columbia district public school with Katerina, she explained me that every school they have their own program. and they have, for instance, some sport, maybe achievement, another one want to create leadership potential, and another one mathematics. In Ukraine, it's like some temporary system. That's why I understand that we need to give for the children something more bigger than only some maybe low level. It's like some short story about me. Maybe I can explain something better.
Yeah, Oksana, I'd love to hear more. So you said that, you were inspired by your own daughter to start this, and you yourself had not worked in the education sphere. You were working in business. So how did you go about, figuring out the curriculum and the programs and structuring all of that? Like, did you have partners who were experts, or did you hire a team? How did you actually, make these quality programs without having done it yourself before?
When I try to understand how I created 6 years ago, now I understand that it was a huge like work which I did. First of all, I have a great idea what knowledge I want to give for our students. I create some plan, then I try to find different center in Europe, in America, and understand what knowledge they give for their students. I analyze also business school for adult, and I try to understand what program I can, it's possibly to give for teenagers, or maybe some knowledge is more for adult person. And then I guess that nearly 3 months I work with the plan, and I create and I write different program. And then I one moment. Yeah, I'm so sorry because my students today we have a lesson and it's a little bit emotion at the end of the day. And then I what I want to say is that it's like it's not like I create some program and I work with this program for 6 years. I guess that every month I try to find some different practice, some interesting idea, and improve my program step by step. And I guess that at the last maybe 2 years, I understand that we have a good product. That's why I have an idea to open franchise for my school in Ukraine and also for Europe, and to create it for another region and to propose it.
That's really exciting, growing it beyond your home base. And I think it sounds a lot like ENGin, because I also was not an expert in, English language education when I started. And what you said about just kind of figuring out and then iterating and improving it over time. I think that's exactly, I guess it's the same entrepreneurial spirit that you're looking to build in your students, right? Because if you think about, like, unfortunately, our Soviet legacy, where it's just kind of like you're part of a big system and you just kind of do what needs to be done, versus this entrepreneurial approach of like, well, let me try and let me improve and let me learn. So you're almost like a real life example to them, I guess, of how to be an entrepreneur.
And first of all, I want to say that when I have a conversation with my future clients, with the parents, I also want to say that every time I explain that I'm not a teacher, I'm a real entrepreneur, and I give practice. I give some knowledge which they can use in their life, in their profession, about negotiation, about public speaking, how to create some project, financial literacy. It's not like some theory which I cannot use in my life. It's all practice, and they can when we have debate club, when we have public speak conference, they practice, and they improve, and they become I can't say that maybe a big professional, but they can professional in some knowledge and in some I guess they understand more clearly the personality, first of all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And actually, Linda had a clarifying question. I'm glad you asked that, Linda, because it can be a little confusing. Because in Ukraine we call these things schools, but this is not like an actual school where the kids go right all day, right? So this is like an after school. They will go a couple times a week, and or what's the structure of the program?
Yeah. It's additional lesson. We have some different program in Ukraine and in United States and also in Europe. When I compare, I understand that the main educational process in USA and in Europe, it's in school. But in Ukraine, I guess that a lot of parents, they don't like our educational system. We understand that it's not like some very quickly we can change it. That's why we create different educational center and like financial literacy, business school, model schools, and etc. And it's, for instance, my school twice a week for small children and 2 hours per week for adults. And then they have some homework to read some information, to create some project, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is, it's really interesting because when you think about making change, right, you can try to change the system or you can sort of work around the system. And this is something I think about a lot at ENGin is why don't Ukrainians speak fluent English? Well, ideally they would be learning it in school, right? Ideally ENGin wouldn't need to exist because they would come out and graduate, the 11th grade having studied it for 10 years, having gained that fluency, but they don't, and that's very hard to change. It's something we think about, how can we do it? In the meantime, sometimes the easiest and quickest thing is to work around that rather than changing the system. Let's add this enrichment that parents can choose on their own, and yeah, while we wait for the whole Ukrainian education system to catch up, hopefully one day we do our own thing. I was also curious, Oksana, when you started, right? So this was brand new. Was it hard to get clients, before you had word of mouth and before you had results, or was it easy because nothing like this existed in your city? So what was it like
Um,
initially?
it was not like an easy process because first of all I need to create different meeting. I need to visit different event and to create a networking communication in for my future clients and so on. And we haven't such maybe common product in Ukraine like business school for children. That's why I explain a lot of times about this product, about our service, and so on. And now I guess that we have a lot of recommendation. I can say that a lot of, but we have a recommendation. And when someone come to me and they said, mother from my colleague or maybe our neighborhood, they recommend us your business school. And also a lot of clients now I have from a social media. I am active person in social media. I create a story and publication and so on. And a lot of, I guess, my clients come to me from these resources.
That's really interesting because again, it sounds a lot like ENGin, because when you create something that isn't a common or known, on the one hand it's good because there's not 10 other companies that you're competing with, but on the downside people are like, what is this and why do I want it? So you have to almost educate your customers a little bit about what you're doing, and then answer questions. And so it sounds like you have the same journey, but then also for us, we saw as we grew, we started having word of mouth, which helps a lot. And it sounds like, yeah, that's again another parallel. I wanted to also make sure to ask you about, with the war breaking out, you started your business before the war, and sounds like you were on a good path. And how did the full-scale invasion in February 22 affect your business and your family, and how did you navigate that to come to where you are now?
I set up my school at 2018, and I guess it's the first 2 years. It was the best period of time. We have a lot of possibility to travel, to create different camp, to create different project. Then when coronavirus come in our life, we had the first challenge. And I guess that at the time I figure out how to understand more clearly my clients and how to work online. That's why we had some practice, the first practice to work online with our students. And in when the war had begun in our life, at the first time, it was very hard because we don't know what will be in the future. That's why we haven't any expectation. We are waiting, but I guess maybe to the second month, a lot of people they began to work better and to choose education, restaurant, because they understand that we have only one life. And it was very strange for me when I created some camp in summer, and we did it. I think at the first time that a lot of parents, they say, "Oh my God, it's dangerous, and our children stay home." But they say we want that our children come and to your school and went to the camp. And that's why I guess in our city, it's not like such a dangerous situation. It's not a front line. We have a lot of challenge. We have sirens. For instance, 2 days ago, we had a problem with the mobile connection because the biggest mobile company was attacked by Russian hackers. But I guess that we used to live in this situation, and we had more resilience. That's why I can't say that it's impossible to work now. It's possible, but it's more. You need to understand more clearly your goals. You need to understand more clearly what you want to. You have your values, because if you haven't your values, you can't find clients in such a hard time.
Mm-hmm. So did you close down your school for some time, or just a little bit, like, or did you just keep working
We
straight through?
worked online.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's really impressive that you just kept on going, and you said you had experience from COVID, so it was not the first time.
Yeah, it was very funny situation because I have some goal to create some online product, and I write my goals to have the first 100 clients online. And I guess maybe in 2 months come quarantine, and all my students, it's nearly 100, they started online courses. And it's like my dream come true, but it's not like the dream that I want to have.
Oh, I see. So you were gonna we're gonna be building out like a side side branch of your work online, and then it just became.
We create some online video and some task, and we had this course at some platform.
So what about now? Did you guys shift back to mostly in person? Is it a mix, or what does it look like today?
Now, I guess that maybe 99% we worked face by face, but I want to realize online product for children from villages and not such close region to Vinnytsia, and to it's like from different part of Ukraine.
Got it. And were you living in Venice? I think you told me that you had left for some time, is that right? And then you came back. What
Yeah.
was sort of your personal experience with?
I had experience to live 6 months in Germany, and at the time we worked online, and it was a hard experience for me because when you moved in a country which language you don't know at all, it's like you like neighbor. It's like it's your neighbor, but you don't understand what they want to say, and you become like newborn because you can explain something. You try to study this language, and it was hard for me.
Mhm. And how did you think about coming back? Was it just that at some point you said, okay, we're going with the school, we have our students, and want to be back there, and because I know that's that's probably one of the most difficult things about this war, these personal decisions, right? To leave, to come back. So how did you think about coming back
Yeah,
with your kids?
first of all, my husband, he can't live abroad, and it's not a good variant to live mm, my children with me in Germany and my husband in Ukraine. And I understand that when you want to have a real family, a good family, you need to be together. And another point of view, at September, I understand that it's a start educational process in Ukraine, and I need to have a decision to stay in Germany and to try to find some work in Germany and try to organize online courses. But a lot of people, they tired from the war and they want to be at some places, at some offline product, and they want to be in some place with to communicate with someone. It's not an easy to sit behind the laptop and to have your lesson. It's not like real support for you. That's why I choose to come back in Ukraine. And I guess, another point why I am choosing, I rent my office earlier, and I have my own property, but without it was not renovate. And I come back, and I have a decision to fix it and to move in this office. And now I'm here.
Yeah, that's really great. I think for for the the school and the students that you're able to come back and keep growing it. And I know most recently, we were in the United States on this exchange program. So I'm curious to hear your impressions. I think you talked about how the school system is different, and it's true. A lot more of, I think, our extracurricular activities are done through schools, whereas in Ukraine, schools are less likely to do that. But what are your other impressions? What did you learn? Maybe you got to meet interesting people, or learn from other business people either here or Ukrainian participants. What can you share with us from your recent
Uh,
visit here?
yeah, first of all, American network, it's the most strongest, I guess, skill which you can have in your life, because in Ukraine it's not in this way. We with different events, but it's not real network. Another, I guess that Americans, they are more open-minded to different experience than Ukrainian. We are more close. We have a lot of relationship between our family, but we are not such an open person for in business communication, for different opportunity and so on. Another point of view, I guess that it's a very cool opportunity to compare educational system, business sphere, and to understand that we have a lot of opportunity and we need to realize it. It's like about situation in Ukraine when we grew up, our children, teenagers, we put in their mind that you have only one choice, to pass the exam, to go to the university, and then maybe something happen in your life. But in America, it's not. You can choose not to enter to university, or you can choose enter to university and to become like professional in some sphere. They more open to different experience than in our country. And I have some data that in Ukraine we have more than 80% people with higher education. But it was very strange, but more than 50% from these people, they work in another sphere than their diploma. It's like they have a diploma, they have a profession, but it's not like their choice. It chose their parents, because it's like some stigma. You need to go to university. It's not such an important it's your choice or it's your parents, but you need to go. And I guess that it's more it's better when you have different experience in your life, and when you grow up. And what I like in America, that in America it's very cool level the sports. In Ukraine, I guess it's not a good condition for our sport gym, and lesson of it's harmful. A lot of our children, they don't understand why it's important in their life, and it's the same situation with art, music. A lot of our students, they explain we have so maybe important lesson, and maybe not such an important. And I ask, what do you mean not an important? Like music, art, why do you think so? Because it's not give me money, and it's like some stigma. In America, I visit some market when I see a picture to sell for the very high prices, and it's not like it's not an important. If you like to create some picture, you can earn money in this way.
Yeah, yes and no. I think that we have a lot of the same challenges with like art and music not being considered as important, and also parents pushing kids into careers that are not right, the best for them. It's interesting because I think in some ways there's definitely differences, in the US maybe is ahead of the game in Ukraine, but some things I think sound very, very familiar to me. But that's a whole different conversation. And it's I think having that personal experience more and more and learning more is great, because kind of like an ENGin, right? It's learning about each other's cultures, and you see what's different and what's the same. We have our new program for teachers where US teachers are working with Ukrainian teachers, and we get some feedback like, wow, I didn't realize they had the same problems here. I didn't realize they had the same problems. And unfortunately, some problems are universal, for better or for worse. I wanted to last thing I wanted to ask you is, so you have kids. I'm curious, like, did they ever participate in your classes, or what do they think of your business? Do they care about it? Do they know about it? Like, how involved are they? I know you said your
Um,
daughter was the inspiration, but after that, what's their relationship to it?
my elder daughter, she's 18, and she inspired me to open this business, and she visit all my classes and all my camp. And now I see the results, because she's a student. She find her first job, and she can live in abroad by herself and without any problem. My youngest 8 and 3 years old. That's why my youngest daughter, this year, she visit my camp, and she's open-minded. She can communicate with different age students, and it was very funny. And it's I like it when she asked me, Mom, when can I join to your program? It's like some motivation for her. And it's like it's not like success. It's it's happiness for me to understand that I am create some space in which my daughter want to join.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I hope one day my kid can volunteer for ENGin, although it's going to be a few years yet till she's old enough.
Yeah.
That's inspiring, yeah, too. I think that's something I try to do is really show them an example, and then you're a bit further ahead, so you can see with your older daughter that it pays off, and like you said, they grow up and they're independent because they learn from you, and that's I think one of the most powerful things of what we do when we start our own businesses and we lead. And so I think that's a great note for me to pause on. I just want to check, Sam, Linda, did you have any further questions or comments for Oksana?
No, I haven't question. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I
Yeah,
think that it will be helpful for some.
I
yeah,
do
I'm
have,
excited.
sorry, I do have one question, and it's just out of curiosity. So since your program deals with children, did you have to get any like certification or permission from a child care oversight agency to allow you to work with children?
We have some certificate, and with all lesson and all hours that they finish in our school, and I can't say that it's allowed in different university and different schools, but my students, when the war had begun, they moved and they changed their places, and a lot of my students, they share information that this knowledge and certificate helps them to in their motivation letter to when they enter to the university.
But are there any like regulations or rules that like with the government that you have to get approval from them to open, or anyone can just open?
In my sphere, no. When I have a public school, I have a lot of regulation which I need to to do in my school. But when we create additional lesson, it's like some psychology sphere in Ukraine. It's not in with some district. It's not like public school.
Mhm.
We have a freedom. I understand that it's not from the one point of view, it's not a good way, because when someone look at your school and see only the name of the program, they can create some advertisement, and not from the first lesson they understand that it's not like real knowledge and practice, but it's like some cool advertisement. But when you have some experience, and when I guess clients and parents choose different centers, they understand what is the most value. I understand the times to show what is the real value, and when is do you have the I have I see the question. I have social media in Facebook and Instagram, and also my link. We had a link in some platform. It was Russian platform, and now we created in Ukrainian. I share it also. One moment.
Yeah, and we'll send out the recording and with the link. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of Ukrainian businesses even who have been around for a while don't have websites, and they're less likely to use email. It's a very different business culture there, I feel, right? It's all like actually ENGin. So when I was starting it, the Ukrainian team who was helping me, they made all of the social media, and it was great. And I was like, how about a website? And they were like, why do we need a website? And I was like, well, in the US, like if you're a business without a website, then that's gonna look sketchy. But in Ukraine, it's not like that. And same thing with email. You know, here it's like professional communication is gonna happen by email, but there, like Facebook messages are totally like that's professional communication. So yeah, but yeah, send that along. Oksana, and then I'll share the links with everyone, including people who couldn't make it today, because I know we had some interest from other volunteers to learn more.
It's very different because it's like email in America. It's very popular to communicate by email. In Ukraine, it's not like common for us. We send messages in Telegram, Viber, and WhatsApp, and also it's the same situation with the link website. Because in Ukraine, you can have a big company with a lot of followers in social media and without some link, and it's normal. It's more popular. I guess that the most amount, I guess, of clients, they come to me from Instagram and Facebook. And also different link, some educational platform in our city, and I can register in this link and share the information. And now when I work with the franchise, I understand that website, it's one point which I need to have. But when we do talk about school in some town, in some city, when I have my own social media, like when I have social media for my school, it's enough.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you have exciting plans for 2024, so we'll have to keep in touch, and I'm curious to see what you're able to achieve. It's very interesting with the franchise idea, so I hope that goes well. And thank you again for coming to chat with us and share your story. And best of luck with your work. It's very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Linda and Sam, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank
We'll
you so
send
much.
out the recording. All right, take care, everyone. Have a good day / evening.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.